What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy SEFtheLawnSurgeon, and you're gonna want to stay tuned for this one because, yeah, you already know what time it is. A tip to talk. What's going on, guys? As you can see, I'm inside today. It's mad cold outside, so I decided to sit in my good old recliner. And yeah, as you can see from the title, you already know what I'm about to do. Now, for those of you who long-time subscribers, y'all know I really don't I say this. I do respond to crazy comments because people don't really know me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all guys know me because I try to keep it real. But when I say people don't know me, these new people that come along, they don't really like know me. And I grew up, you know, with friends. We went back and forth. So any type of troll-like comment, I can't wait for people to leave troll-like comments, bro. I cannot wait, cause I can be a little douchey sometimes. And so, you know that's the thing about people who leave troll type comments. The two reasons they're trying to do: either they're trying to get recognition because they want you to talk about them, which I'm gonna talk about them, about the comment. It's just one comment, but I'm not gonna say the name. And the other reason is to make you mad, but it just gets me excited. Like when I post a video and I look at my comments and I respond to them and I don't have any like trolly comments, I'm kind of disappointed, you know. I'm like, dang it. Like let me tell you about this, right? One time a guy, right, I think I was outside doing a tipsy talk, and because of the sunlight or something, I mean, my lips look red. You know, my lips already pink or whatever, but my lips was looking nice and red. So he was like, hey man, where did you get that red lipstick from? And so I was like, well, it's actually all natural. But if you want me to ask my wife where I got it from, I can ask her, or you probably can Google it to find some. And then I want to step forward, and I actually Googled red lipstick, and some MAC red lipstick came up. So I went back to the comment and I posted a link for him. I said, here you go. You know, you asked me about that lipstick. Yeah, I could be a dude sometimes. Anywho, this comment, man, this comment was definitely worthy of a video. This whole video is going to be based around this one comment, and it's a pretty long comment. And see, one thing I want to say is, the thing I don't understand, I thought this was common sense, right? But it seems to not be. When you watch people on YouTube, right, you have to understand that you're not seeing everything. You get what I'm saying? I had this one video a couple videos ago, me and BJ doing a cleanup job, and I said at the end of the video, oh, that cleanup job took us 2 hours. Somebody commented, excuse me, somebody commented and said, oh, that took you 2 hours? Blah, 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 you know. So I'm sitting there thinking like, what? You only saw 10 minutes of footage. Well, like, how would you know? Like, you didn't even see the backyard. It was a whole nother side of the yard. that you didn't see, but you're sitting here trying to tell me like, you know, I'm inefficient because it took me 2 hours to do that job, and you don't even know how big the whole yard is. Like, woohoo, you know what I'm saying? Anywho, I know y'all like, man, get to the comment, get to the comment. I'm gonna get to it. All right, here we go, here we go. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell y'all what video it's from. Y'all want to do y'all research, y'all can find out. I'm not gonna tell y'all the person's name, because he says in the beginning of the comment that he's not trying to be mean or bring me down or whatever, but you just gotta hear the comment. And I'm gonna read the whole comment first, and then I'm gonna go back and break down each part. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, I say this in an effort to help you. I'm not trying to bring you down, but I totally think you view equipment in the wrong way. Where I always try to buy the absolute best equipment, you seem just to try to slide by. For example, you have a mediocre backpack blower and you need to add another blower. I would have bought the most powerful backpack blower. You bought a piece of crap $80 bowling. I don't get it. You will forever wish you had a better blower. And whenever you pay somebody to run that blower, you will overpay in labor because it takes longer. With the walk behind you bought this year, you buy a belt drive instead of a hydro. It's as if you want to struggle with poor equipment every day of your life. Bottom line, quit trying to save $1, spend money, get more efficient, make better money. I almost fell on the floor when I read that, bro. Okay. Let's break this down. I'm gonna break this apart. Not break it down, I'm gonna break it apart. Okay. I say this as an effort to help you. I'm not trying to bring you down, but I totally think your view on equipment, I think you view equipment in the wrong way. Alright, let's start there. He thinks I view equipment in the wrong way. I think he views equipment in the wrong way. Alright, let's keep going. I'm gonna keep going, but I'm not even gonna say no more. Alright. Where I always try to buy the absolute best equipment, you seem to try to slide by. Alright. In every market in life, right? Cars, clothes, you're gonna have, I call it the Mercedes. You're gonna have the Mercedes of whatever, the Mercedes of cars, Mercedes of clothes, Mercedes of trimmers, Mercedes of whatever. You know, the Mercedes of trimmers might be Echo. I mean, not Echo. The Mercedes of trimmers might be steel. You know what I mean? And, you know, Echo might be Toyota or whatever. For instance, a car. Say it's an $80,000 Mercedes Benz. It's gonna have all the bells and whistles, self-parking, you know, heated seats, leather, you know, navigation, OnStar, whatever. You know, it's gonna have everything. Some might say, like, if you want the best car and you want all these extra stuff, you need to get a Mercedes. But in actuality, You can go out and get a Toyota Camry, you know, and still get all that same stuff. And instead of paying $80,000, you pay $40,000. You get what I'm saying? It's just how well you maintain it. Because guess what? By you buying the best of, not only are you taking on that best of name, you're taking on that best of maintenance. When you have to go get it fixed, the parts are going to be more expensive. They'll probably charge you more with labor and whatnot, you know, at the dealers. I'm speaking of equipment when you take it in. So just because you're saying you're buying the best of doesn't mean it's the best of. It just means it's more expensive. All right, let's continue. All right. Absolute best. You seem to just want to slide by. For example, you have a mediocre backpack blower. Mediocre. So I have for those who don't know, I have a Husqvarna 150 BT, and not really sure how it's mediocre. Is it mediocre because I paid $200 less? Does your backpack blower blow oxygen? You know what I mean? Does it help keep the earth green? I mean, like, why is mine mediocre? Just because yours blows a little bit harder. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say, hey, yeah, it blows leaves a little bit harder, but a backpack blower is a backpack blower. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, when you go in, you ever heard the saying of, if there's somebody driving 85 miles per hour and there's somebody driving 60 miles per hour, that person is going to get to this place a few minutes sooner. Not like 30 minutes sooner, not like an hour sooner. They're going to get there a few minutes sooner. You know? But of course, they're going to burn more gas. You know what I mean? They're going to put more wear and tear on their vehicle because they're going so fast. You know, I feel the same way with backpack blowers. Like, you have a bigger, powerful engine, but you're paying a couple $100s more just to be more fancy. You know what I mean? It still blows air, still blows leaves, grass. Mine does the same thing. Starts up, second pull guaranteed every time. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, you have a mediocre backpack blower and you need to add another blower. I would have bought the most powerful backpack blower available. You bought a piece of crap bowling handheld. Again, what makes bowling a piece of crap? The name? For those of you who didn't follow me, I've said this many times. I had a Poland. The bowling was $80. My Poland was $100, right? When I bought my house, 2007, the first thing I bought was a Poland handheld blower, right? And mind you, I've said this before, I didn't know anything about power equipment. Anything. I knew very little about changing oil. I didn't know about air filters and changing that because, you know, growing up, my dad didn't really know nothing about that. So I didn't know anything about that. I had to learn that as I became a homeowner. So the whole time I had that Poland leaf blower from 2007 to 2013. I never did any type of gas treatment. I never changed the air filter, and that bad boy started up, you know, easy, second pull, easy, all that time. And then mind you, I started my lawn care business in 2012. So 2 of those years I was using the Poland. I was doing it commercially. I was using it commercially with my business, and I was still using it with my house. And y'all seen my yard with all the leaves I get, all the trees I got. I got to clean my yard up like 3 or 4 times every winter time. So, and that Poland was the only thing I had. So, and it ended up the carburetor getting clogged or messed up, and I still got it. Excuse me. I still got it. All I need is to clean the carburetor or get a new carburetor, and it'll probably be good to go. But the point I'm trying to make is that Poland lasted that long, 7 years, without me doing any kind of proper maintenance to it. Imagine how long it would have lasted if I did do proper maintenance. And so you're saying that a Boland is a piece of crap because it's cheap. I mean, I'm gonna do a review on it and let y'all know what I think. But for you to say that, it means that in your mind you just think because you spend more money, you get better quality, which doesn't always equate all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, you can buy a Mercedes and you get all the bells and whistles and think, hey, I got a Mercedes, it's better quality, but you can get all the same things in a Toyota. You get what I'm saying? So let me continue here. He says, well, that piece of crap $80 Boland handheld, I don't get it. You will forever wish you had a better blower. No, I won't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people see only what people show them on YouTube. You know what I mean? And I show y'all a lot. I show y'all like every stage I'm going through, and that's another video I have to make. I show y'all every stage I'm going through. You know, a lot of people just see the finished product. I'm showing y'all my decision making when I'm thinking about doing stuff. And see, this person is talking as if they know me, you know, and why. Now, they didn't even ask why I bought the handheld versus a backpack blower, right? The reason I bought a handheld, if you would like to know, is because when I had my handheld and I was using my Poland, when I first started my business, the beauty of having a handheld is you're able to get behind bushes and whatnot, like when you're doing leaf cleanups. With a backpack blower, you only have that right arm. So now, if you can't get in there in a certain angle and whatnot, I essentially just had to come back behind and kind of rake off the stuff that I couldn't get to because I couldn't get the right angle to blow it out. With a handheld, you can switch hands, you can use it and whatnot. You know, it has the vibration effect of it because it's the motor's right there in your hand, but it's more beneficial. So, you know, that's why I got the handheld. But he doesn't know that. So why would he sit there and say, oh my God, I can't believe you bought a handheld. I don't need a handheld. 85%, I mean, I don't need a backpack blower. 85% of the time I work by myself. BJ helps me like 15% of the time. You get what I'm saying? So, but see, that's what I'm saying. You don't know that. So, why would I need 2 backpack blowers and work by myself? Am I gonna strap both of them on and try to blow both of them? I mean, like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? You will forever wish you bought a better blower. And whenever you pay somebody to run that blower, you will overpay them in labor because it takes longer. Actually not. If you notice in my video, BJ was using my backpack blower. And that's because I plan everything out to a T. BJ knows. Y'all don't know. You know, this person doesn't know. Before we get there, I'm sitting there going over with BJ. Like, I'm like this. I'm like, I'll tell y'all, I'm semi-OCD. I'm sitting there, and you can ask BJ. I'm going over a game plan, like, even down to cutting yards. Like, all right, I think you should do this. You should trim this time first, or do this first. And the same thing with these. So you can take the backpack blower, you blow this whole side of the yard to this area. I blow this side with the handheld, and then boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? That's why I had BJ using the handheld, because I know that I'm more efficient with blowers, whether it be backpack or handheld. And I'm not saying BJ's not professional or whatever. I just know that I have more experience with blowing leaves in my yard with a handheld. So using a handheld is nothing to me. You know what I mean? Let's continue on here. You will forever wish you bought a better ball, and we pay it takes longer. Okay, now he's going into my other equipment. With the walk behind you bought this year, you buy a belt drive instead of a hydro. It's as if you want to struggle with poor equipment every day of your life. Struggle with poor equipment every day of my life. Okay. Like I said, I don't know this person. See, the thing is, he's judging me. And I'm trying not to judge him. I don't know this person. But from what I'm hearing is this is a person that doesn't do that research. It's a person that just goes out and says, hey, everybody says this name brand is the best name brand, I'm gonna buy it. Everybody says this is the best piece of equipment, even though it's the most expensive, I'm gonna buy it. This person seems like a person that doesn't go out and do their research. So I'm gonna put a hydro. I have the, for people who don't know, I have the Toro T-Bar 36-inch floating deck belt drive, right? He's probably talking about a hydro, which Toro has a hydro, right? Now, you put those two next to each other. Like say I'm cutting 1 yard with my belt drive T-bar, he's cutting 1 yard with his hydro. Again, the same way as I'm talking about the 85 miles per hour and the 60 miles per hour. He might get the job done. And I say might because it depends on the operator. He might get the job done a few minutes before me, but guess what? The job is going to be just as good. If he has stripes, I'm going to have stripes. If he's going to be clean cut, I'm going to be clean cut. You get what I'm saying? The only difference is I paid $2,000 less. You know what I'm saying? So if you say, oh, I'd rather pay $2,000 more for less hassle because I don't like belt drives. Well, guess what? You're gonna have more hassle. It depends on what type of hassle you're talking about. Because with hydros, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not a lawnmower mechanic. I just kind of fix stuff as I can. But I have no idea how to work on hydros. You know what I mean? I probably could change the oil or whatever, you know, hydraulic oil in it that I'm gonna have to in my Gravely eventually. But as far as fixing them, I don't know how to fix them. So guess what you're gonna have to do with your hydro? You're gonna have to take it to the shop in the middle of the summer if it breaks down, and they're gonna tell you, oh, it's gonna take 1 to 2 weeks before we can look at it. You know, and then once we look at it, we might have to order some parts. So you might not get it back for 3 weeks. So that's a big deal for somebody that's cutting grass in the middle of summer and has to go 3 weeks without a lawnmower. Especially when you only have 2 lawnmowers, i.e. me. Well, I got 4 lawnmowers, but 2 lawnmowers that you use on a regular basis. Whereas in the belt drive, if one of my belts break, guess what? Go pick up a new belt, come back home, look on YouTube, or figure out how to put it on, bing, bang, boom. Didn't have to take it to no dealer or nothing. That's what I'm talking about. I researched that. I understood that hydros, it had easier controls, it was more smooth, but I knew that I was able to work on and figure out how to adjust my belts. When I first got my lawnmower, it was out of adjustment. I figured out how to adjust it, and I've done adjusted like 3 times, maybe 4 times. You know what I'm saying? If I had a hydro and it was out of adjustment, then I wouldn't have been able to do that. You know what I mean? That's the benefit of having belt drive, even though hydro is more smoother, and I understand that because I have that gravely and I know how smooth hydros can be, but it's still the same mower when you break it down, because it's still gonna cut grass the same way as a hydro. It's not like the hydro gears for the transmission make it cut grass any better. It just makes it easier to control. You know what I'm saying? Woo. Let's spell all your life. Okay, now here's the best part here. Bottom line, quit trying to save $1, spend more money, get more efficient, and make better money. I think he doesn't understand what the word efficient means. Alright, to me, I live by efficient. That's why people think I'm so cheap. It's not because I'm cheap, it's because I take the word efficient and I wring it out. I don't want to just be efficient, I want to be super efficient. And that's what you have to see. That's what you have to get, is that it's regular efficient. Regular efficient, somebody who wants to be just efficient, is somebody that wants to get work done as fast as possible with the best quality. That's regular efficient. Super efficient is somebody that wants to get the work done as fast as possible with the best quality for as cheap as possible. And that's what I do. I try to get all 3 of those. Now, he says, bottom line, quit trying to save $1, spend money, get more efficient, make better money. What kind of business owner doesn't try to save money? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, you're not trying to save money. You're just going out here, you know, making it rain at dealers. You know what I mean? Trying to, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. Like, like say me and you build, both of us build $100,000 business. You know, our net worth for our business is $100,000. You might end up spending $80,000 on equipment because you didn't research and find out what areas you needed to spend extra money on equipment and which areas you didn't need to spend extra money on equipment. And you might end up spending $80,000 and I might end up spending like 40 or 50. So who was more efficient? You get what I'm saying? Like, who was more efficient? And so, like, that's what I don't get. It's like, you know, you're telling me to spend more money. That's crazy. That's a good one right there, man. That is a good one right there. And then he left some extra comments. Let me see here. Somebody tried to halfway defend me. They said, after he left that comment, they said, sometimes people aren't able to afford the best. Now, in some situations, I'm not able to afford the best, but I figure out how to, you know, work with what you have. I consider myself a problem solver. You know what I mean? I'm not as versed. I don't know how to fix as much equipment, but I'm not scared to give it a try. You know what I mean? I'll take something apart. I'll try to fix it, and 9 times out of 10 I end up fixing it. And then he responded to that by saying, Seth has a full-time job and does this on the side. He can afford a $500 proper blower. Some people are just cheap, customers and business owners alike. That's so true. I'm cheap. I'm very cheap, you know, and that's going to take me a long way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started my business from dirt. I don't think y'all understand dirt. Half of my equipment was free. I had a weed eater. I can't even begin to tell you. I don't even know what the name of the weed eater was. Curve shaft. That's all I can tell you. It was a curve shaft weed eater. It was so dirty, I don't even know the name or the brand of it. I started this business from dirt. You know what I mean? And basically the whole thing is, the whole reason I did this video, it's not to get on the guy, because like I said, I didn't mention his name. I didn't say his name. If he goes and deletes this comment, y'all will never know who he is. You know, even though I gotta screenshot it. Because I love stuff like that. Anywho, but the whole reason I did this is don't let people force you to do things you don't want to do, bro. You know what I mean? I would never tell somebody. People come to me and ask me about my Troybilt Mustang. Would you suggest I buy a Troybilt Mustang? Most people who have commercial equipment automatically just say, no, 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 no. Don't buy residential equipment, buy commercial. And I don't do that. I ask the person, what's your situation? You know what I mean? How much can you afford to spend? You know what I mean? Do you have the credit to finance a commercial? You know, some people don't have the credit to do that. So it all depends on the situation. You know what I mean? If you're just starting off and you only have 2 yards to cut, then a residential won't be that bad. You know, it'll be able to take that wear and tear, especially a zero turn. It'll be able to take that wear and tear cutting 5 yards if you only have 5 yards. And as you build the business, like I did, and you get to 15 plus 20 yards, then you're able to possibly go into getting a commercial zero turn. And now not only do you have a commercial zero turn, you got a residential backup that is, you know, it's just, and I'm not gonna say it's just as good, but it's a good backup. You know what I mean? It's better than a garden tractor. So anywho, I'm gonna end it right here because I just got off work this morning. I'm ready to go to sleep. Thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. Yes, sir.